To discuss the tensions, Canadian Ambassador to the U.S., Kirsten Hillman. Ambassador, thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Appreciate it. So Canada's got a new Prime Minister, former central banker Mark Carney, but new leadership does not seem to be changing the president's tune about making Canada the 51st state. He said it again, as you just heard this week, sitting next to NATO's Secretary General. Does Carney take that seriously? Is that why these two leaders haven't connected?
Only works as a state. It doesn't. We don't need anything they have. This would be the most incredible country visually. If you look at a map, they drew an artificial line right through it between Canada and the U.S. Just a straight artificial line.
President Trump doubled down this week on talk of Canada becoming the 51st state as the trade war with our northern neighbor shows no signs of slowing down. That's despite Ontario Premier Doug Ford traveling to Washington to meet with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Joining me now to discuss the tensions, Canadian Ambassador to the U.S., Kirsten Hillman. Ambassador, thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Appreciate it. So Canada's got a new Prime Minister, former central banker Mark Carney, but new leadership does not seem to be changing the president's tune about making Canada the 51st state. He said it again, as you just heard this week, sitting next to NATO's Secretary General. Does Carney take that seriously? Is that why these two leaders haven't connected yet?
I think we take seriously our sovereignty. We take seriously the will of Canadians, and over 91% of Canadians are, not interested in a discussion around joining the U.S. So I think he takes that seriously. And that's not a slight to the president, and that's not a slight to the American people. It's an expression of our own patriotism and our own sense of who we are as a country. So I think Prime Minister Carney will be looking to speak with the president as soon as possible and looking to forge a good and solid relationship.
Have they reached out from either side yet?
We've reached out, yeah, okay. And we're looking forward to having that, having them connect.
Okay. Your foreign minister, though, appears to be quite alarmed, saying that Trump's tariffs are a tool to annex Canada by economic force. She referred to Canada as the canary in the coal mine and reportedly said at the G7 this week, if the U.S. can do this to us, their closest friend, then nobody is safe. The New York Times also reported this month that Canada's finance minister was spooked by a call from Howard Lutnick claiming that President Trump had come to realize that the relationship between the United States and Canada was governed by a slew of agreements and treaties that were easy to abandon. Mr. Trump was interested in doing just that. That's just one report. But are you under the impression that any other aspect of the U.S.-Canada relationship is on the rocks right now besides trade?
I am not. I think that what we need to be doing, and I know that Prime Minister Carney wants to do, is to establish, a serious and professional conversation around the president's goals with respect to trade. We had a meeting with the Commerce Secretary Lutnick and USTR Greer this past week, and we understood from them his whole global agenda in this respect. And we talked about how Canada can fit into that. So that's the conversation we want to have. Serious conversation, respectful conversation. The new Prime Minister respects what President Trump's trying to do. He's trying to supercharge the U.S. economy for American people. And that's what he's also trying to do for Canada. So they have a lot in common. I think it'll be important to proceed with that discussion.
The Mitsubishi